Good evening, and I welcome you 10th class students, Science 086, Term 2, 2021 22 sample paper released by the CBSE. We have already solved chemistry section, we have solved physics section. They are available in the YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel Sunilsikri and watch that. We have explained in detail all these questions which have been asked by the CBSE. So without wasting my time on instructions which have already been given by us in section A, section B, um, in physics paper, in chemistry paper, I am straight away going to the bio section of 10th class. Question 1 is on the screen. I would say, students, while you are with me, you should keep the NCERT books on your table, notebooks, colored pens with you. The whole thing is focus, concentrate, try to understand the question, read each and every word very carefully, and then answer the question. The marking schemes have been provided by the CBSE. We will take help of that and try to show you how to answer a question in the exam. Important point is that we have to write less, we have to be write accurate, correct, specific as per the demand of the question. Let us see the first question of the bio. Is the question is, trace the path a male gamete takes to fertilize a female gamete after being released from the penis. Now you are aware, when the sexual intercourse takes place, students, the male is giving the sperms, and the sperms goes where first? Path of the question is, trace the path a male gamete takes. The male gamete sperm, what happens? The sperm which is released by the male gamete when sexual intercourse takes place, what path it will follow? Here we have taken this picture from your NCERT book. This is the reproductive organ of the female. Now what will happen? The sperm will first go to the vagina. It will go from this, then it will move to the cervix, cervia, and after that what will happen? It will move to the uterus. These are the two uterus. It will move to the uterus, and then it will move to the fallopian tube. You can see fallopian tube, student. So the path which it takes, the question is, what is the path it will take? So it will move from vagina, then vagina to cervix, uterus, and from that it will move to the fallopian tube, or what we call as oviduct. So this will answer the A question. And further he says, state the number of sets of chromosomes present in the zygote. You already know that what you have the sperm coming from the male gamete, and also then what you have, the ova, where you have there are, how many chromosomes are there? You know already this. There are 23 chromosomes coming from male, and also the female gamete. How many? 23 chromosomes. So 23 and 23, when they will fertilize, what you will have? Two sets of 23 chromosomes. Two sets of 23 chromosomes. Two pairs, we are saying two pairs are there. So there are two sets which are there. Let us see what is the marking scheme which is given by the CBSE board. What it says, The answer provided by the CBSE marking scheme. This is our marking scheme. Marking scheme, student. It says male gamete sperm travels in the female reproductive tract after being released. We don't have to write this, but the path which it takes to fertilize female gamete or egg is vagina. If you write vagina, half mark. See the marking scheme. Uterus, half mark. Fallopian tube, half mark, resulting in zygote. So the questions are marked according to half for each word. So you are getting half. You can see the path. You have to trace the path to fertilize a female gamete. First, vagina, half mark. Uterus, half mark. Fallopian tube, half mark. This is then formation of the zygote takes place. Alternately, accept the labeled figure of human female product indicating the passage of sperm from vagina to uterus and the fallopian for fertilizer resulting in zygote. We already shown that picture to you because that will take more time for you to draw the labeled figure. It is better to give this answer for this question. Now we already said zygote has two sets of chromosomes, half alternately except 2n, no marks assigned for n or 3n. So this is the answer for the question number 1. Fourth question. Rajesh observed a patch of greenish black powdery mass on a stale piece of bread. Have you seen your bread, students, getting stale? You leave the bread pieces for 3, 4, 5 days. What happens? You have seen, this is what we are showing here. This is a bread. There is a bread mold. What you are seeing, students, bread mold. This is what is fungus. Actually, you have seen fungus on the bread. This is fungus is always colored greenish color. Sometimes you have seen potatoes, some fungus on that. You have seen on tomatoes, which are, you keep it for a longer period of time, white color, some substances. These are all what we say fungus. And you should not eat that when fungus is there. Even you can see fungus in anything which is old substances, eatables, you will see fungus. So here on the bread, which we are saying stale piece, name the organism responsible for this and specific mode of asexual reproduction. Now you are aware, students, that this is what we have already shown here. This is bread mold, as I said, fungus, which is called rhizopus. And what is important, we have shown you there are asexual and sexual reproduction in this chapter, and you have seen the rhizopus as we have shown the figure here. There are spore formations. In this, they will fall, and what happens? Fragmentation takes place, and you will get the reproduction by means of spore formation, sporia. This you can see this picture is given in your NCERT book. So there are sporangia, spores, dispersing spores, hypha. Now name its vegetative and reproductive parts. Now again, if you go to this, the vegetative, what is happening? This is an example of the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction we have studied, and you have seen there is a spore formation, and the vegetative is by fragmentation. The vegetative is by fragmentation. There is a fragmentation, and the parts which can undergo fragmentation are hypha. This hypha we have shown. They can break accidentally or anything, and they can then form new. They will produce and reproduce. Hypha stolen or rhizoids also, they can fall and produce. So just you already know the figure is there. Let us see what is the marking scheme and the answer given by the CBSE. The question is 2 marks, but how the marks have been allotted. The greenish black powder mass on stale piece of bread is due to bread mold, which we said that is Rhizopus half marks, which reproduces by spore formation. Spores formation we have shown you. And hypha or thread-like structures are vegetative part. Hypha we have shown you, students. They are vegetative parts. The other thread-like structures also we have shown you, Stolia, Rhizodus. When they will break accidentally or anything, what will happen? They will grow and to vegetative parts. And tiny blob-like structures or spongia are the reproductive parts. The reproductive parts are tiny blob-like structures or spongia. This you have shown you spongia here. These are the spongia reproductive parts. So they will break down, and this is the reproductive part. Reproductive and vegetative, two parts we are talking about. Now the next question is on the screen, student. What it says, the mustard is growing in two fields. You have a field A and field B. What you are growing, students? Mustard. So you have mustard, student, in field A and B. While field A produced brown colored seeds, you are having brown colored seeds. Brown colored seeds. And while field A produced brown colored seed, field B produced yellow, field B produced yellow colored seeds. It was brown and B was producing yellow colored seeds. It was observed that in field A, the offspring showed only parental traits for consecutive generations. Parental trait. So if I say that these are the parental traits, if I have to show student, let me show it like this. This is BB. So these are brown, and this is also brown. So what will happen when F1 you will get B1 B. When you get B1 B, student, what is happening? This is homozygous. ठीक है, homozygous dominance or homozygous recessive homozygous dominance or homozygous recessive. Now what will happen in this case? The dominance, the law of dominance will operate, and what will happen? The big brown is brown parental trait. What is that, student? It is both brown otherwise, because it is homozygous or homozygous recessive. So the result will be all will be brown. All will be brown. So the dominance of brown is there. What happens in the case of the field B? Majority of the offspring showed variation. Here we are observing variation. So what we are trying to say, for example, if you have a yellow and some other color, this is my yellow, and let this be brown or anything. Let me take, this is black, supposing. So what will happen in this case, students? Then you are producing YY. Okay? And the result of this is what will happen when further generations will be produced. The result will be that this is a case of random mating, random fertilization. So in this case, if I show you have Y, and supposing you have small y and y, then what is going to happen? In this case, random variation. So you will get first law of the variation, 1:3, 1:2:1 ratio. So you will get 3 yellow and 1 black in the first case of fertilization. So what further you will get more and more traits as for more fertilization, more generations will be produced. So here in one case, you are having homozygous dominance or homozygous recession, and dominant trait is observed all where. But when there is no random mating, there is no random fertilization, there is then, but what will happen in the case of heterogeneous dominance? When heterogeneous dominance is there, what the result will be, you will get variation in the progeny. So what are the probable reasons which we have given already? Let us see the answer which has been given by the CBSE. In field A, the reason for parental trait is consecutive generations of the offspring is self-pollination. He is saying in field B, variation is seen because of recombination of genes or cross-pollination is taking place. Another question has been asked in this. Let us see. In asexually reproducing species, if a trait X exists in 5% of the population and trait Y exists in 70% of the same population, which of the two traits is likely to have arisen earlier? Already it is very clear, student. The one which is in a larger percentage, simple rule, is the one which have arisen earlier. One which is in larger percentage has arisen earlier, students, has arisen earlier. You are aware of what we are trying to say in this case, because what happens is then the population which is producing, the result is they will keep on producing the same population, but what happens, all of a sudden some environmental change takes place, then the result will be that then you will see a new population, but that percentage of the new population will be less. So more percentage means that is earlier, and the whenever earlier population is reproducing, you are getting the identical identity, but somewhere the mutation takes place due to certain environmental factors or some high temperature or some low temperature or other reasons, then different population takes place, and that population will always be a changed population, will be of lower percentage. Therefore, the earlier one is that which is 70%. Let us see the answers which have been provided. How do we write in the paper? Trait Y which exists 70% of the population is likely to have arisen earlier because in asexual reproduction, identical copies of DNA are produced and variation do not occur. Identical copies are produced, but new traits come in due to sudden mutation. Sudden mutation takes place and then are inherited. As I said, some drastic change takes place in the population or something. So sudden mutation takes place, and 70% of the Y is likely to have been replicating that trait for a longer period than 5% of the population at trait X. Another question is coming on the screen. DDT was sprayed, students. And when DDT is sprayed, what will happen? What is the DDT doing? DDT is sprayed. You know what is DDT is used if you have, for example, even mosquito, you are spraying this or some insecticides, DDT will kill it. So DDT was sprayed in a lake to regulate breeding of mosquitoes. There are mosquitoes in the lake, so DDT is sprayed. How would it affect the trophic level in the following food chain associated with the lake? Justify your answer. Now here you have seen these are the trophic levels: aquatic environment, plankton, small fish, large fish, half. So if we see the trophic level, you will see trophic level 1. This is trophic level 1 primary, trophic level 1 secondary, then trophic level 2, then you have trophic level 3, trophic level 4. This is at the highest trophic level. What will happen if I spray DDT? So there will be DDT in the lake, water. Lake water has DDT. And what will happen from the aquatic environment? They will have DDT. and then this aquatic environment, from the aquatic is born plankton, so it will take the DDT from this posing, it takes 5% DDA from it, DDT. Also it will take DDT from water. So what will be the result? It will get 5 plus 5, 10%. Now again, this will get 10% of DDT from plankton and also take plus 5% from the lake water. Now it has become 15%. So this will take 15% from the small fish. Large fish will eat the small fish. Then it will get 15% from this and 5% from water. It will get 20%. And hawk, ये जो चील आई ऊपर, this will eat the large fish, and what will happen? It gets 20% DDT from the large fish plus 5% its own, so 20. So the largest the food chain, it shows the maximum amount of DDT is present in this. This is what we call as biomagnification. Biomagnification is a process by which toxin enter the food web by building up the in individuals, and are passed from one trophic level to next. So what we are seeing here, biomagnification and bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation. Let me see what we are trying to say. Dekho, see the story, what I am saying. Biomagnification and bioaccumulation, very important. Bioaccumulation is a process by which toxin enter the food web by building up in individual organism. So in individual organism, what is happening? There is a bioaccumulation taking place. This DDT is coming to this, so bioaccumulation, and then this is coming from water as well as from this. And while biomagnification is a process by which toxins are passed from one trophic level to the next, and thereby increase in concentration within a food web. So from one trophic level to another, what is happening? There is an increase. There is an increase in the concentration of the toxin. Increase in toxin concentration from one trophic level to next. So biomagnification and bioaccumulation, so large amount of DDT is now present in the tertiary or trophic level 4, because it gets from this. These are additive, they are adding, and also they are getting from the water, and the result is that this will get the largest amount of the toxin, which is what we call as biomagnification and bioaccumulation. Let us see the answer given by the CBSE. DDT being non-biodegradable. You know, there are two things. Biodegradable substances, they can be degraded by the microorganisms which are present, microorganisms which are present in the food, in the water, or in the soil, or anywhere. Non means it cannot be degraded and will enter the food chain from the first trophic level. It will enter from the first trophic level. Entry is from the first trophic level, and then it goes to, as we have shown, the different trophic levels, primary, secondary, tertiary. Non-accumulate, they will accumulate progressively at each trophic level. The phenomena is called biological magnification. So there is an increase in the amount of toxin, amount of DDT at each trophic level. At each trophic level, we have shown how it is increasing, and also this process is called biological. So there is a biological magnification, what we said, biomagnification. We explained biomagnification, biological magnification. And will the highest level will of pesticide will be at the 4th level of the trophic level, which we have shown, that is half. चील जो है, जो भी होते हैं 4th लेवल के, तो वहां पर सबसे ज्यादा आएगी. biological magnification. See the marking scheme also, how the marks have been allotted. Half, one, and half. How you are given marks? Half, one, and this is important. How to write an answer is very, very important. This is important. Choice is given. In the following food chain, vertical arrows indicate the energy lost to the environment and horizontal arrows indicate energy transfer to the next trophic level. Which one of the three vertical level A, C, E and which one on two horizontal will represent more energy transfer? Give reasons. We have already studied student 10% rule. The first green plants, they will get from sun rays, from sun energy, and they get only 1%. 1%. And then you already know what happens. These plants are eaten by the herbivores. What is the result of this? So that means here what is 99% is lost when the sun is there. And after this, what happens? 10% rule, that they will get 10% of this and 90% is lost. 90% is lost to the environment or further digestion and other process. Similarly, the tiger, which is carnivore, this will eat the deer. Again, it will get out. This has only got 10%. It will get 10% of this. Only 10% of this, and again 90% is lost to the environment or in the digestion. So what I am trying to tell you, this is the cycle which we have shown. Sun energy, and this is the producer, the plant. If I consider this is 1000 joules, then what you will get here out of the 1000, after the loss, you get only 1%. So if you are getting 10%, if I apply the 10% rule, then out of 1000, what is happening here? 900 joules are lost to the environment and only 100 joules come here. Lost 900 joules. And what you are getting? 100 joules. 100 joules are coming out of 1000, students. So what it gets? You are getting only 100 joules. And after this, what is happening? This will eat this, and only 10% rule, 10% rule, it will get 10, and 90 joules will be lost. 90 joules energy lost to the environment or digestion, all this will happen. And after this, it gets only now left with only 90 joules. Out of the 90 joules, only 10 joules will go to this carnivore, which is your lion, tiger. So 10% of this is 9 joules. 10% of 90 joules it will get. And what will happen? 10 joules. So 90 joules lost. Out of the 10 joules, it get only 10%. 10% of 10 joule, and what will happen? It will 9 joules will be lost energy to the environment. Therefore, by the end, almost energy is finished. So what we say, question, which one of the three vertical arrows and which one of the two horizontal represent more energy transfer? Horizontal, you will see what is this is our which one of the two horizontal arrows, B or D? Here B represents more energy transfer. B represent more energy transfer and it decreases further. Okay? And which one of the three vertical arrows, A, C and E? So A represent more energy transfer. 10% rule we are applying. Let us see the answer. It says A will represent more energy transfer compared to C and E. B will represent more energy transfer as compared to D. When green plants are eaten by primary, a great amount of energy is lost as heat to the environment. Some goes into digestion and in doing work, and rest goes toward growth, and an average 10% rule wise of the food eaten is made available for the next level consumer. This loss of energy takes place at every trophic level. Alternatively, except in accordance with 10% law of transfer of energy in food chain, only 10% of energy is available at one traffic level as a transfer to the next. Only 10% is transferred to the next, rest is lost. So the main thing was 10% rule. You can read this in the book. Now another interesting question is coming, students. Heredity and evolution. Heredity and evolution is important question for a student. What is happening? Two tea plants, one with round yellow seeds, one with round yellow seeds, and another with wrinkled green seeds. Round and color, I'm using, there are two traits, yellow. Okay? And tea plants, two tea plants. These are tea plants, A, and there's another tea plant, B. What is that? Two tea plant. This is one with round and yellow, another with wrinkled green, okay? Another with wrinkled green is shown like this. So these are wrinkled and green seeds. Produce F1 progeny that have round F1, first generation. What is in the first generation? They are having round and yellow. R, round. So the dominants are, round is dominating, round is dominant trait here, R, and Y seeds. So round and yellow is dominating here, round and yellow. When F1 plants are self-pollinated, now F1 is self-pollinated. So what will happen if this self-pollination takes place? You have R, so F1, but R, Y, another with Y, and you are producing R, Y. Now you will do the self-pollination, R, Y. 4 and 4 here. Self-pollinated with which new combination of characters is expected in F2 progeny? So when you will produce F2, what will happen? This is an example of self-pollination, students. And if you will see in the NCERT book, we have shown here what is happening. See, this is your round green, wrinkled yellow, F1 generation, round F1 generation is round yellow. Now we are doing self-pollination, F1 and F1, F1 and F1. This is my F1, this is my F1, this is self-pollination. The result of self-pollination is to produce F2 generation. Now in this case, you will see that there will be total 16 types. How many? 4:4, 16 you are getting, as we have seen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I draw this table, this is what you get, 16, and the ratio is 9:3:3:1. So you are getting in the ratio 9:3:3:1. 9 is round and yellow, round and green 3, wrinkled and yellow 3, wrinkled and green 1. This is the ratio. 9 is total, 9 plus 3, 12, 15 plus 1, 16. 9:3:3:1 is the ratio which you will get in F2 progeny. F2 progeny will have, there will be 4 types of, these are 4 types of combination, which is leading to total of 16 varieties. 16 plants are there, 16 plants are there, 4 combinations are there. And now he is saying, how many seeds with these new combination of factors will be produced when total of 160 seeds are produced? You have total, how much? 160 seeds are produced in F2 generation. How many seeds with these new combinations? of characters will be produced, new combinations. So the ratio is 9:3:3:1. Therefore, I can say, student, if I have to calculate the ratio of round green, round, first one, I am saying round yellow. What will be that? Round yellow. Round yellow. So the round yellow, yeah, RY. This is my round yellow. RY. RY is my, is a capital Y. Then how much is this? 9/16 into 160. It will be the answer. 10. Little bit of maths we are doing, 90. So you are going to get out of 160, 90 RY. And round green, what is round green? If I have to produce round green, then how many will be there? So R small y, this is round green, RY. Round green, this will be 3/16 into 160. That will be 30. So you will get 30 of this. Then wrinkled yellow, that is RY. So this was R and RY. Okay. So that was R and capital Y. Make it capital Y. So no doubt. This is small. So this is R and Y. This will be how much? Again, students, 3/16 into 160. This will cancel and you will get 30. So you have wrinkled yellow also 30. Then wrinkled green. How many will be wrinkled green, students? And wrinkled green, small r and small y. This is 1/16 into 160. That will be 10. So total 90, 30, 30 and 10. This is how we get the answer. Little bit of maths have been used. Let us see the answer given. Round green half, 30. Round green 30. Wrinkled yellow 30. New combinations are produced because of independent inheritance of seed shape and seed color trait. This is the answer which you have to write. So round green, when you have written round green and 30, you are getting half plus half. And here wrinkled yellow, you are getting half plus half. 1, and then 1 mark is given for new combinations are produced because of independent inheritance of the seed shape and seed color. So this is again what we are saying, an example of random combination and random mating. There are two traits which we have taken and the ratio is 9:3:3:1. This is the ratio. All right. Next question is coming. Gas A is found in the upper layers of the atmosphere, is a deadly poison, but is essential for all living beings. The amount of this gas started declining sharply in 1980s. You are aware, student, there is a gas which is called ozone. Ozone layer, you are aware, it is available in the stratosphere of the atmosphere. It absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiations. Otherwise, this ultraviolet are very harmful. They will cause cancer also and damage our eyes also. So this is essential. The amount started decreasing. Students, you already know that chlorofluorocarbons, CFC, chlorofluoro chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in refrigerant, and fire extinguishers, student. And from jet planes, you have seen this, or aerosols and some other perfumes which are using, they contain chlorophor. So decrease decrease the concentration of the ozone. And what is happening, these compounds CHCl3, for example, also when it will react with UP, it will give CCl3Cl, and this will attack the ozone and dissociate this into oxygen. So these are destroying the ozone layer, and unregulated rocket launches are also destroying. So there are many causes of the ozone depletion. So identify the gas, how it is formed at higher levels. This formation of higher level is O2 combines with oxygen. When ultraviolet rays, when the sun rays are falling, what will happen? That this combines to produce ozone. So ozone combines with the oxygen. Nascent oxygen is present. It will combine and it will produce the ozone. Why is it essential? State the cause of depletion of the gas. We have already indicated. We have already uploaded a complete lecture on this also, that what is the cause of ozone depletion and ozone hole which is there because of the chlorofluorocarbons which are present in the refrigerator, fire extinguisher, or aerosols, perfumes, etc. And let us see the answer which is given by this. As you see, gas A is ozone. The formula of ozone we already know, O3. Ozone at higher level is a product of UV radiation acting. What happens? That there is oxygen. When UV radiation fall on the oxygen, it dissociates oxygen into these two. These are called nascent oxygen. These are oxygen atoms, nascent oxygen. O. This is very reactive. As soon as it will be formed, it will react with oxygen to form ozone. So you have two steps, equations you have to write. So higher energy, this UV radiation is a high energy radiation. It will dissociate oxygen into oxygen atoms, or what we call as a nascent oxygen. It will react with O2 immediately to form ozone. Ozone shields the surface of Earth, protects living organisms from ultraviolet UV radiation released by the sun. Chlorofluorocarbons, CFC, half marks, which are used in refrigerant in fire, lead to depletion of the ozone. You want to know more? There is plenty of information we have uploaded in the YouTube, all this. Another question is coming, student. So what is happening here? Sahil performed an experiment to study inheritance patterns of genes. He crossed tall tea plants. Tall tea plants are represented by TT with short tea plants, which are small t, and obtain all tall tea plants in F generation. What happens, student? F1 generation, he is getting all all tall plants, all the tall plants. What is the result of this? You are getting TT, all tall plants. The law of dominance. First law of dominance. Tall is dominance characteristic, and small t is recessive. So what happens? You are getting tall. What will be the set of gene present in F1 generation? So F1 generation will be TT. Give a reason why only tall plants are observed. Because of the law of dominance. Tall is the T is the dominance, capital T, and the small is recessive. So recessive is not going to be there in the presence of the dominant. When F1 plants are self-pollinated, what will happen? Self-pollination. The result of self-pollination in F2 will be F2 generation. How do we make F2 generation? So let me make students You have tall, tall, and T. So you have uh, two genes, tall and small t. Then what you get? How you make? What type of you will make, student? You will get uh, T, T, and then you will get T, T, and then you will get T, T, and you will get and if you cross pollinate, then you will get T, T. So what you are getting, tall, heterogeneous. TT is dwarf. What is the result of this? A total of 800 plants are there. Then what will be the result of the 800 plants are there? In this case, the result of this, there are two different gametes. So what you are getting, students, you have, let me make it more clear table. Let me make that table more clear to you, students. Or more easier approach for you, which you can do. You have T, then what you get? T with T. Cross self-pollination with the TT. So what you get? You will get T, and you will get T and TT. Okay? So what is that? 1, 3. I'm using 1, 3. I'm putting 13, for example. How will you do? 1, 3, 1, 4, then 2, 3, and 2, 4. So this is a way to do it. So this, what will be this? This will be tall dominance. This will be tall dominance. Again, tall dominance. Tall is dominant, and this will be short. Okay? So you will get short and tall. So the ratio will be 3:1. 3:1. 3 is the tall. How many of these would be tall? Total 3 plus 1 is 4. So 3 by 4 into 800. 600 will be tall. Okay? And this, which will be the small 1 by 4. What is short? 1 by 4 into 8 plants. 200. Short and tall. Then you will get only two. Only two. One is short and other is tall. There is nothing medium, only tall and short plants. This medium is not there. 600 and 200. Let us see the answer given by the CBSE. The first one, as we said, is TT. T are called dominant traits, while those behave like T are called recessive. In the presence of T, then this recessive trait will be expressed alternately, except the definition of dominant and recessive traits. Definition of dominant, T and T respectively alternately set the law of dominance with example T and T. Out of the 600 plants will be tall and 200 will be small, as we have already indicated. The ratio which is produced, is 3:1. So you have already said you are getting T into T. What do you get? T, and T. So this all tall and this short. 3:1. So 3 by 4 into 800 total. So 600 plants are there which are tall, and 1 by 4 into 800, 200 will be short. Nothing is medium. Nothing is medium. Another question is, or F1 plants were cross-pollinated having TT genes. Having TT genes, that means you have TT is cross-pollinated with TT genes. These are all short. Okay? And this is what we have all TT tall. Now what will be the result of this? What will be the result of this? A total of 800 plants. How many of these would be tall, medium, or short? Give the genotype of F2. So F1 was TT. This is pollinated with TT. Pollinated with TT. The result will be what you will get TT. TT, you will get TT, you will get TT, and you will get TT. So the result is this. These are short and these are tall. So out of the four, you are getting a ratio of 2:2, 50% of this and 50% of the tall. The result will be 2 by 4 into you are getting 2 by 4 into how many? 800. 400 plants are tall and 2 again the short. This is my tall, and 2 by 4 into 800 are short. That is also 400 plants are short. This is your F2. So you are getting 50% in each case, 400 small and 400 tall. Nothing is medium. Nothing is medium. Let us see the answer. In cross between T and T, 400 short plants will be produced. So 1 mark you are getting, and this is the first generation. This is cross-pollinated with the TT small. We have already answered the question. As you will see the marking scheme, 1:1. So students, this ends up the bio section of 10th science, and we have already uploaded physics, chemistry, and this is the bio. My best wishes to all the students, and I would say please subscribe our channel, uh, and in this you will get all questions solved and with full explanations. And stay focused, concentrate, and read NCERT book very carefully, each and every word, each and every line, and you practice more. And it is very clear that you have to understand, learn. There is nothing mugging which is involved nowadays in the papers, and papers are not difficult, but if you don't understand a question, you will never get an answer. So try to stay focused, concentrate, and only the time which is left, pay attention, pay attention. The more attention you will pay, the more you will learn and read the NCERT, each and every line, each and every word, every table which is given very carefully. And our best wishes to all of you. Bye bye, and I see you next time.